See, guys, so this is what they are thinking about me. I mean, you must understand these people, for example, my so called past friends. I don't hate them, but the thing is that you have to understand that they're looking at me now and they're saying Danny's doing good online. I mean, they're saying how I have something to do, that I have a passion online, that I'm doing something on YouTube and stuff like that. And what's happening is they're growing much more jealous of me over time. And what they're doing is they're hanging around with people who are non-creators in terms of people who don't create content. And they're wasting a lot of time because these people are not creating much content and they're not giving much value and they're seeking validation from those people. Do you understand? So if you always are the one calling your friends and calling them and always going for them and you're always doing all the work to be around them, you're also seeking validation from those people. So you must understand that since I don't hang around with that crowd anymore that I used to hang around with, I don't seek validation from them anymore. And that's confidence. You have to understand, I have confidence in my ability to never be with those people again because I understand that I'm not seeking any, let's say, validation from those people. So that's the good thing about it. And the good thing about my life now is I'm doing much better in terms of my health and everything. So I have to always understand that now is the time to always give content for myself. But the thing is that now, since I'm actually doing things in terms of my life, I'm always expressing myself the best way I can. I promise you, things are working out for me in terms of some areas. And I'm understanding that now, since I have to let go, I have to let go of everything. I have to just let myself be my best version. You understand? I have to let myself to become something much greater. And that's the whole occasion. So, for example, these people from the past are all just going to be jealous. They're going to be watching me do my work online, and I'm going to be doing a lot more work than them in life. And all I'm doing right now is just uploading content and producing much more content and nothing else. Because that's what's important. You know, saying you have to be always growing yourself. You have to be doing things every single day to benefit your life. So, for example, with my mom, I understand that she wants me to do my life coaching, and I'm gonna ask her also. I mean, do you want me to do life coaching? And she's gonna say, why not? I mean, just go and teach. I mean, go and do your thing. You understand? The thing is that my dad lets me be, or else my family lets me be, but also to the point that, for example, my mom, she wants me to eat meat, like she wants me to be her and stuff like that, and that's how she doesn't let me be. But the thing is that I'm gonna persuade her every single day that I can become vegan and I'm vegan and stuff like that. But I have to live my talk. I have to live my talk so I'll be happy. You understand? Otherwise, I've been lying to myself. Do you understand? Not to you, but to myself. Do you understand? So it's much more how I have to stay true to myself. I have to make sure every single day I'm doing something that's helping people. You understand? Because there's nothing else to do in life. So I'm understanding that I feel naked without doing my quotes, for example, because I've been transcribing my quotes online. I've been writing my books out and stuff like that, and it feels unnatural for me now not to sit in front of a laptop to just work on my quotes because I enjoy watching my quotes. I enjoy watching the things I used to say to myself and stuff like that. I just go through the quotes, for example, and what I do is I download my quote books from Mega Drive in terms of my online storage, and then I work on my laptop. And then what I do is I transcribe it to Apache Office in terms of a Word document, and I export it into a PDF, and then I send it to this worker of mine, this employee of mine on Fiverr, and she does the EPUB files for me so I can upload it to Amazon.com. And it just feels unnatural for me not to be doing my quotes at the moment, but I'm downloading my folder so I can do my quote book 10, so I can make a new cover for myself. I mean, you have to understand that every three books that I make in terms of quotes, I have a new cover for it. So I understand that it's much more different colors, different brain, different ways of doing things for myself. And I'm actually always understanding that I need more information. So what I do is I read much more information. I read material, I read quotes, I read from people. I try to keep occupied. I try to learn something throughout my day, every single day. And I try to actually do my quotes all the time. I try to make sure that I'm doing always the best job for myself as much as possible and just help myself to upload all this content now. It's going to take me up to a year to upload everything. But the thing is that it's a slow process. I mean, you have to understand slowly, one by one, it's all going online. I promise you. And then everything that I have after that is my Mega Drive, which is my About I page, which is all about me in terms of my Mega Drive. So when you click on my subscription link, in terms of my, not my subscription link, you click on more details in my YouTube videos over there, and you'll find a link where underneath the YouTube video there's a description, and you click on that link, which will take you to my Mega Drive, and then you can see my life. I mean, you can see exactly where I'm going. I mean, you can see the updates. I mean, you can see exactly what I did in terms of screenshots, in terms of my life. You can see my life. I mean, yes, and you can study my life, and you can study all my files and all that. And I expose everything to the universe as much as I can, because I understand that's where the fame is. I mean, that's where you have to grow, and that's what you need to do to survive in life, which is to thrive. I mean, you understand? So you have to understand that if you want to survive in life, you have to understand every single day, live your best life and nothing else. I'm understanding that these people are all like, wow, they're wondering about me, they're curious about me to see what I'm doing. You know, saying I'm doing something. I'm always doing something, but my Facebook page is dead. And the reason for that is because not everyone's watching me, for example, and there's no point in doing it. I see on TikTok, I see TikTok is different. I understand eventually I can get on TikTok, I can do some stuff on TikTok eventually. But the thing is that TikTok is different. I mean, by the time I upload things on TikTok, you have to understand that there's no time for that. You understand? There's no time for TikTok for me. You understand? So I have to make time. I have to make time. But the thing is that I'm putting that time with TikTok, I'm putting it into something else. You understand? I'm putting it into YouTube. I'm putting my time into Instagram. And Instagram and YouTube is my go-to. And that's it. That's where I go to explain myself and nothing else. I understand with Spotify. I understand if I put my music on Spotify, I promise you nobody's going to watch it except me. And understand that Spotify is only useful when you're going around making events around yourself with music production and stuff like that. That's the only time it's useful. I see that for myself, but everything else is going on YouTube. I understand there's plenty of time now for me to grow, and I have to let myself grow now. I have to let myself grow now the most I can, because what's coming up in my life is going to be much more difficult, and it's going to be easy day by day. I understand day by day I can do everything day by day. But the thing is that what's coming up in my life is a 9 to 5 job eventually, and fatherhood and stuff like that, and providing for my family and stuff like that. So that's something new that's coming into my life. And now if it doesn't come into my life, then I understand that the 9 to 5 job is going away from me eventually. And I'll have money in my pocket to travel for myself, to travel places on my own and stuff like that, to see things. So I get a total package of what I need. So everything that I need is much more different all the time. So I understand that it's much more how I'm never putting a sleeping mask on ever again, because it made me blind to some degree. And now I'm not blind anymore, but I explained it already in my audio program, where the sleeping mask was making my left eye blind because of the blood pressure. So make sure you understand that you never strain your eyes. Make sure that your eyes are getting proper blood flow. You understand? So that way you can see. Because if your eyes do not have blood flow, then you're blind. Do you understand? So that's why people who are blind, who cannot see anything, are the people who are feeling through life. I mean, they're going through life feeling. So, for example, Dejan Matic and Sasha Matic, these people are singers. They're singers in Serbia, and they're very famous in Serbia. So it's much more how they're both brothers and they're both blind, and they both are musicians, and they're both also people who sing, and they live their life. I wonder what they see. I mean, they just see full of darkness. I mean, that's all they see. I mean, they can see darkness. Do you understand? I mean, it's much more how that's all they've ever seen in life. I mean, it's just darkness. You understand? But they feel things. I mean, they're improving themselves differently. And there's ways to learn. I mean, there's always different ways. So I can imagine being them. I have eyes. I can see. I have imagination. I can spark my imagination and stuff like that. I understand everyone has an imagination regardless of what's happening in the world. I mean, everyone's different. But I'm so glad that I'm not in jail. I'm so glad that I didn't kill myself. I'm so glad that I get to live life every single day. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that I get to be away from those people who used to be my life. I mean, they're just very toxic people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, toxic in a way that they waste time. I mean, they just waste a lot of time trying to get validation from each other. And they drink beer, they smoke cigarettes, they just go out during the night time and do nothing. I mean, they do nothing all day. You know what I'm saying? They communicate with their friends and stuff like that, and they try to boost their social skills like that. They try to get the information from friends and stuff like that, but they don't read books. They don't educate themselves that much. You understand? I mean, they're doing the 9 to 5 jobs and stuff like that. I mean, they're making money, but everyone's on that same road. I mean, yes, I mean, you have to understand everyone's on the same road. You understand? Everyone's living life to some degree, and you have to understand that it's much more how I don't feel sorry for anybody, to be honest, because everyone has a different life. You understand? And you have to understand that it's much more how those people have to learn a lot. I mean, there's a lot to learn in life, and the more you learn, the more happier you are. You have to understand that. So for myself now, I understand that it's much more once this quote book finishes downloading, I'm going to start my quote book 10, and then I make 3 covers for myself and just slowly just put all my quotes online very quickly. And it's going to take me a few months to do it, and it's going to take me maybe up to a year to really transcribe everything, because I have 34,000 quotes, guys, and you have to understand it's a lot of quotes. And it's just thoughts. I mean, each book is 22,000 words. I mean, in a sense, so think about it. I mean, 22,000 times 34, and it's like over over a million, to be honest. So you have to understand that you have to always develop yourself, and you have to grow yourself. So five books is 100,000. So 10 books is 200,000. So I have around 600,000 words I have to write into my program over here. You understand? So it's much more how you have to do something, you have to succeed, you have to fill in your time with words. You understand? Because if you don't, I mean, in your times when you have nothing to do, just fill in your time with words. Just speak something, talk a bit, express yourself much more, learn how to persuade yourself to live better. You understand? Make sure you're going by your habits, that you're doing something that's helping your habits grow. I mean, you understand? That's what you have to do. You have to associate yourself with better-minded people who are going to teach you something about life. You understand? You have to associate with those people. And you can find those people in books. You can find them in the library. You can find them in seminars. You can go around people who are spreading out that information that you need, for example, and just be studying all day long. Just be reading all day long something. But it's not enough to read. You have to understand you have to do what you read. You understand? Because if you're not doing what you read, then it doesn't work out. You understand? But the thing is that what works out all the time is when you spread words. I mean, when you're spreading words as much as possible, you at least impact someone else's life. And that's what matters, you understand? When you impact the world in a better way. When you do things for yourself, do you understand? So I'm understanding that these people now from the past are going to be watching me. They're going to be always curious about what I'm doing online and stuff like that. But I have a much better life than they do. And I don't have to work a 9 to 5 at the moment. So it's much more how I'm living life to some degree, and I'm helping myself to grow. I'm understanding that they're not doing what I'm doing, and understand I want to see what they're doing exactly. I can see exactly what they're doing. You understand? They have some kind of information that I don't have, for example. I mean, they've learned stuff that I haven't. For example, I understand that, and that's the information I need. I need them to teach that. I need them to get up on YouTube so I can watch them. You understand? I want to watch these people. I want to follow them. I mean, even if it's my friends from the past, I mean, if they make a YouTube channel today and they're spreading content into the world, I promise you I'll tune in and I'll read from them. You understand? I'll be a student of theirs. You understand? I have nothing against them. But the thing is that I see other people, like, for example, who have daughters today and they're like 7 years of age and stuff like that. And I wonder, like, would they accept me as their kid's husband and stuff like that? And I see many people won't accept me. I mean, they won't accept me, but I understand that if I had a daughter, for example, or a son, and these ladies or these men wanted to be with my daughter or kid, for example, then I'd accept it. You understand? I accept it. I mean, it's much more. It's my kid's decision, and it's not my decision. Do you understand? So, for example, this woman that I used to be with, she didn't accept me because of her family. You understand? Her family didn't accept me, and you have to understand that when a family doesn't accept you, you just go your own way. And she wanted to use me. I mean, she wanted me to drive her home, so I just left her blank. I just left her. I didn't want to drive her. You know, saying I didn't. I mean, you don't have to drive anyone if you don't want to. You know, saying that's your choice. I mean, she wanted me to drive her home so I never see her again, and she wanted to just use me. You understand? So I just said no, and you're not going to use me anymore, and bye bye. She didn't accept me because I wasn't watching television and wasn't listening to the radio. You understand? I mean, stupid reasons, but anyway, I mean, she wasn't in it. I mean, she wasn't in it. I mean, she was not in it to win it. You understand? And she was very immature. I mean, very immature lady, to be honest. And she's young. I mean, she's 24, to be honest. So, if we were still together today, I promise you, we probably would have been married by now and have kids and stuff like that. I see Vesna Rajcevic, for example, this girl. I used to love her so much, and I still love her. I still love her, but I don't want to be with her. Understand? But the thing is that it's much more I forgive her. I mean, she broke up with me. We had something going, but then suddenly she just didn't want to be with me anymore. You understand? That's her choice. I mean, you have to understand, I had no choice in the matter. I wanted to be with her even though she broke up with me. And then she started blocking me on Facebook, all this stuff for no reason. I mean, for nothing. I mean, she just wasn't in it to win it. You understand? She wasn't. I didn't use her. I didn't have sex with her at all. I didn't have sex with this other one, Brianna, and she broke up with me because of the television thing. And I didn't have sex with her either. I mean, I didn't want to use them. I mean, do you understand? I didn't want to just fuck them. I wanted to marry them. Do you understand? But it didn't work out that way. And with Bojana Gagic, I mean, she's different. I promise you, with her, it was more I wanted to just lay into her. I wanted to just have sex with her. And she's my high school sweetheart. But the thing is that I dumped her in the first day. And like we are going out officially, and then the next day I just broke up with her because she didn't look at me in the face. I mean, she walked past me without looking at me in the face. I mean, I think she was totally unaware about me in that moment, that she didn't even see me, to be honest. I mean, she was just walking and she didn't even see me. She walked right past me without saying hi, and we are going out. But she was just unaware, I think, to be honest, and it just didn't work out. I mean, she has kids today. She's moved on. You understand? But that's how you do life. You move on. I'm not regretting my choices because I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through the path that I did. You understand? So if I lived with my mum, I wouldn't experience the life I am today. You understand? I wouldn't be in this position. I'd be in a different position. You understand? But the thing is that now, since I'm understanding that at my dad's place, I have more time to read. I have more time to be on my own. I have more time to have peace and quiet in my life. I understand it's much more how things are working out for me to some extent. And I'm understanding it's much more how I'm always doing things. I'm always expressing my thoughts out there as much as possible. Living the life as much as I can. You understand? Traveling as much as possible. Doing things every single year. I'm always traveling. Every single year I said it. That every single year for the rest of my days I'm going to travel somewhere. I'm going to travel somewhere, and I'm just going to travel every single day in my words, in my imagination, in the silence that I breathe as well. For example, I'm going to travel through my breathing, travel in better, I'm going to have better habits as well, and I'm going to do better. But now it's about seeking that information, tuning my mind into a better way, making my mind very sharp. I have to be very sharp, so no alcohol, no drugs. I want to make myself very sharp. And understand for gyms, I don't want to go to gyms anymore. I don't want to subscribe to a gym anymore. I understand I've learnt my lesson. I understand that I subscribed to one gym before and it didn't work out for me. And then they let me off. I mean, they let me off, and I was meant to give them like $3,000 to unsubscribe from the gym. And I just told them that I have a sickness and stuff like that. And they let me just pay $100 to just unsubscribe from the gym. And then I subscribed to the gym again, and it didn't work out for me again. Saying it didn't work out for me because I wasn't dedicated to it. And you have to understand that while you're traveling and stuff like that, it's different. And it's much more how I paid 2,000, I paid 400, I paid 2,000 something dollars for the gym, and it wasn't worth it, to be honest. It was not worth it. I wasted my time in the gym. And now, because I understand my back, I realize my back, I understand I don't want to break it. And I have spinal problems. You have to understand that it's much more how that when I was 13 years of age, I was driving a bike and this car hit me, and I flew off the bike, and in the air, while I was in the air, I was saying either my head or either my spine. And I chose to have my head. I said it's either my head hits the concrete pavement or my spine or my back. And I chose my head. It was a split decision. And I asked Jesus Christ, what would he choose in that moment? I mean, Jesus Christ says, choose your head. Because if my head hit the concrete pavement, actually I would have broken my skull. Do you understand? So I just covered my head in the air, and I spin 3 times in the air, and I just fell in my lower back. I realized my lower back hit the concrete pavement, and that's where my problem is. My problem is my lower back, spinal type of thing. So it can be operated on, and the thing is that I don't want to operate on it because I have no need to. I have no pain there at the moment. But the thing is that if I carry lots of weight, then that spinal cord can go off place and it can dislocate. You understand? So if I lift a lot of things, if I'm lifting all day, my lower back starts to really, really hurt. You understand? That's why I have no 6-pack abs, for example, because if I do a lot of sit-ups and stuff like that, my lower back, in terms of my lower spinal way, in terms of my lower spinal cord bones start to hurt. I mean, in a sense, so that's why I don't have 6-packs. That's why I don't have abs, for example. You understand? Because my lower back is going to start hurting. You understand? And that's different now. I mean, it's not about exercise for me in the gym anymore. It's more about like having muscle in here and there, but muscle comes naturally in terms of walking every single day. Make sure your legs are built with muscle. For example, make sure you're walking every single day. Go walk 30 minutes a day somewhere, and just read a book while you're walking or listen to music while you're walking. And make sure that you understand it's not about building muscle for me anymore, to be honest. And you have to understand it's more about spreading words out there and becoming that kind of guy, and just learning from the process of life. You understand? Because that's how I see life now. I mean, a woman's always going to see me and she's going to say like, oh, but he doesn't have 6-packs. I mean, he's hairy and stuff like that. But when I show myself on Instagram, go and check out my Instagram and you'll see how much I love myself, to be honest. But right now, I'm not doing even fashion photos anymore because it doesn't reach my best version. You understand? And there's no time for it at the moment, to be honest. I mean, you have to understand I have no car, to be honest. I was traveling and I understand that's a different life. And because I understand now, I just want to lead myself with words. I want to lead my path into a better way. I want to do something all the time. I want to fill my time in with words. And now that's the thing. I mean, I just learned something. That the more I speak words, the more I document my words. And you must understand that the more I document my words, the more I waste no time anymore. I'm never wasting time when I document my words. Because it's all going on YouTube. Do you understand? So, for example, the reason I don't write in my writing journal as much anymore is because I'm doing audio programs. I'm doing as many audio programs as possible now. And it's much easier for me to talk it out onto an audio program or video program than it is for me to write it down, for example. You understand? But there is a time and place where I write things down into my journal. But the thing is that everything that I want to teach you is going to be in my audio programs and my video programs anyway. Do you understand? So what I want to teach you now is just make sure that you understand that you eat lots of protein, eat lots of not animal protein. Make sure you stay away from animal protein, stay away from sodium, stay away from white sugar, stay away from coffee, stay away from drugs out there, stay away from alcohol, stay away from carbohydrate foods, and just make sure that you eat low carbohydrate foods instead of high in carbohydrate foods. So stay away from the rice, stay away from the hummus, stay away from the bread, stay away from bread, stay away from peanut butter, for example, because it's all fatty. I mean, you don't need that fat. Do you understand? And that's the way it is. So it's all different for me now. I'm understanding life's changing and life's going quick. But the thing is, the good thing about it is that I get to express myself as much as possible. And that's the amazing thing about life, that I just get to express myself, that I get to watch TV, for example, and talk to you while I'm watching TV, for example. So I'm watching TV right now, I'm watching the images. And that's imagination. I mean, when you watch the when you watch the TV and an image pops up, I'm pretty sure that's an imagination, you understand? So when I go on Netflix, for example, I watch Netflix and I can do audio programs while on Netflix as well. And like that, I can never waste time. I mean, you understand? So in your spare time when you have nothing to do, just speak words as much as possible. Just talk your eyes out. You understand? Talk your heart out every single day. I could have went to poker tonight. I didn't want to go. I was doing my quotes and I was doing my audio programs and stuff like that. And that's much more important anyway than a little bit of money. You understand? I have enough money, to be honest. I don't need to be around those people, to be honest. And poker's going away from me anyway. I mean, poker's something to do to just get out of the house for a bit. You understand? But it's nothing big. I mean, you won't win a lot of money, to be honest. You may win money for the week and stuff like that, but that's about it. You understand? That's poker. So, yeah. See, also, guys, when you drink too much alcohol, you start to have a headache. And do you know why? Because when you drink alcohol, your body fluid starts to be dehydration. Do you understand? So, the more dehydrated you are, the more of a headache you have. Do you understand? So, headaches come on because of dehydration. So, when you drink too much caffeine, for example, you'll start to have a headache because caffeine is something that makes you dehydrated. Do you understand? So, if you drink black coffee with water because water will hydrate you, but the caffeine alone makes you dehydrated. Do you understand? So, alcohol makes you dehydrated. You understand? So, make sure you always have more than enough fluid in your life. Always make sure that you at least drink a 1 liter of water a day. And if you find soy milk, for example, if you drink soy milk, you'll find that half of the soy milk is water anyway. So make sure you drink some soy milk for yourself every single day because that's what I do. And just learn. I mean, just make sure that you fill in your times with word. I mean, fill in your time with words. There's always something better to do. Just remember that. There's always something better than that crowd that you used to hang around with. You understand? Because you have to understand that there's much more passion that you can do. I mean, you have to understand you can do words. I mean, you can be away from those people. You don't need them. You don't need to seek validation from those people. I mean, make them chase you. And if they don't chase you, they're not meant to be in your life. Do you understand? You have to understand to go your own way. I promise you, stop calling those people. Stop being around those people because they're not interested in you. I mean, you understand? I mean, they're people who are not in it for you. I mean, yes, I mean, they're in it for themselves. So just go for yourself and go and live your life on your own somewhere. Be with yourself. Make sure every single day you understand to be doing words, do passion, and make your dreams come true. Do you understand? Because that's how you grow. So, for example, you must understand that I stay away from the crowd out there because I understand that when I'm around the crowd, I'm promise you, I'm not even doing my work around the crowd. You understand? But the thing is that I'm always doing my work. And now around the crowd, I can always do my work, but the thing is that you have to understand that the crowd's never documenting themselves much. You have to understand that. So understand, I promise you. So just understand that there's always a better way to do life. Do you understand? You have to be worthy. You have to be worthy in yourself every single day. You have to talk it out for yourself. You have to understand that time goes quick. I mean, I've been already speaking in this audio program for 29 minutes. I mean, just time flies really quickly. You have to understand the time's going by, and I just want to document my life as much as possible. and nothing else. I want to express myself as much as possible. I want to deliver information and nothing else. I want to learn something. I want to guide myself through words. And that's about it, guys. I mean, it's just making sure every single day that I'm doing what I need to do. You understand? I want to make sure I'm living that life of freedom for myself, doing the best job I can for myself, and learning along the way something, doing something for myself, helping myself to succeed. That's what's important to me. You understand? So I hope that you guys understand that there is always a way forward. There's always a way to grow your content, to grow who you are. But there's a time to stop audio programs, and there's a time to just understand that when you have nothing to do, make sure that you're just doing something. And then do something like words, document yourself down, do more words. I mean, you understand? I mean, just talk more words. I mean, you'll find yourself having a nice and beautiful conversation with yourself. And that's the that's the most amazing happiness that you can ever have, is always documenting yourself every single day and speaking words. I mean, yes, and I mean, the more words you speak in the planet, the more happy you are. I promise you, I believe that to be true. It's more how you have to grow yourself anyway, and you have to find something to say. You have to understand that's the task. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, when you have a blank page, you just work on it. I mean, you just do something with that. You understand? You just write words down. You do something to write things down for yourself. You task shift. I mean, shift tasks and do something different. And you understand, when you don't feel like speaking words, maybe just watch other people and do some Netflix. I mean, do your quotes or upload content or something like that. But always be constantly doing something that's going to help other people. You understand? And that's what you need to be doing all the time. Your sole focus has to be on helping other people, because when you help other people like that, I'm pretty sure it helps you to grow. You know, so I don't waste my time anymore on Facebook and talking to those people on Facebook. I don't waste my time on them, because you have to understand that for me, you have to understand that I have better things to do, and it's more that it's not because they're not worthy or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's more like, where do you want the conversation to go? I mean, you just want to meet new people online, and what's that going to do for you? You understand? I mean, what's it going to do for you? I mean, someone who's living in America and you live in Australia, I mean, what are you trying to get out of the conversation? I mean, you understand? I mean, you're trying to meet new people and that's it. I'm pretty sure, are you trying to just get them to show you boobs, or are you trying to make them to buy your content? I mean, what are you trying? I mean, the thing is that you have to learn from that, and you just have to move on. Do you understand? I mean, you have to understand, and that's going away from you anyway. You understand? So do things that are staying with you forever. You understand? What's that? I mean, what's going to stay with you forever is everything that you've uploaded online, and just do that. I mean, you understand? So everyone needs a mega drive. Right? Everyone needs a mega storage online. I mean, everyone needs a storage online where you can upload your files and stuff like that. So my phones always have the best processing speed, because I delete all my files from my phones because it goes into my online storage, and that's how I use things, and that's how I do things. But I invest $30 a month for that online storage so that I can upload all my quotes and everything, and it's working out for me at the moment, and I'm understanding it's always worked out for me. And you have to understand how much content I've uploaded. For example, I've uploaded like 3 terabytes of information into my storage online, and there's always better deals. I mean, you have to understand that eventually when I go up to 16 terabytes, I'm pretty sure then it falls down to $10 a month or something like that. So it's a good thing. So make sure that you're always doing things for yourself where you're helping yourself to grow. And that's what you need to do. I mean, you have to fill your time in with words. You understand? And that's the productive time. Actually, productive time happens when you're filling up your time with words while documenting. I mean, that's what I've just learned. You understand? That's what I became aware. I have to talk. I have to talk. I have to talk it out with myself, because if I don't talk it out with myself, then I don't know where I'm going. You understand? I have to set the sail. I have to set the bar for myself, because that's the only way of life. I mean, I have to understand that there's always a better way. You understand? And you have to understand that you have to be uncomfortable in life. You have to understand you have to get yourself uncomfortable. You have to go through the pain. I mean, you have to understand that if you have pain in life, you have to go through the pain to understand the joy. You have to make pain your joy. I mean, anything that's discomfort in your mind or your brain, or in your feelings, you have to understand that you have to go through that. You have to understand that you have to accept it, and you have to understand to do something different. You understand? When you do something different, accept what you're going through, and just understand that it's all psychological. You understand? So if you just stay away from it, I promise you, the more you stay away from it, the more you build confidence that you can do it. You understand? It's not that scary, and it's not even scary at all. I mean, it's just stay away from it. I mean, it's just that. I mean, you understand? I mean, there's a million things to do other than smoke cigarettes and do drugs. You understand? There's more than a million things to do other than do drugs. You understand? You can take yourself out somewhere. You can go somewhere. You can live life. You understand? I promise you, when I understand, for example, my life, I don't want to be going in the nighttime anywhere. Whereas there's nothing to see at nighttime. Whereas only drug addicts walk at night. You understand? For me, it's more like 6 p.m. rule. I mean, what does that mean? I promise you, 6 p.m. rule means that I go in the daytime from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the afternoon or evening. I'm making sure that I can go out places, I can go and travel. But that's when I'm traveling, for example, or when I'm doing something around the day. But when it's the 1 hour rule, I make sure I stay indoors for 23 hours of the day. And for 1 hour, I just go and take myself out somewhere. You understand? That's different. That's a different rule. But now for myself, I'm understanding that 6 p.m. curfew. I mean, you understand? I'm in the house before 6 p.m. curfew. I mean, you understand? So before 6 p.m. every single day, I'm in the house. You understand? I don't want to be walking the streets. I don't want to be going out in the streets anywhere because I have better things to do. You understand? So that's how it is, guys. I also, guys, I pause my audio programs just to do something with my other phone so that I can do a better quality audio and so I can do something much better. So for example, I have things to upload on my phone over here. So what I'm going to do is stop this audio program just for a bit, just so I can do that task for myself. And then I do a better job this way because otherwise I'm multitasking, and multitasking is something that takes your focus away. So make sure you understand that when you concentrate on doing something, focus totally on doing that. And that way you're going to do a better job. See, guys, so anyway, it's much more about living life in the moment, making sure that you're helping yourself to deliver content, because understand now it's more time for me to just go and just transcribe as many quotes for myself as possible, learn to read something, just keep reading, keep producing content, keep talking words every single day, task shift for myself, do something different, and just that. I mean, yes, and just being able to understand everything. But I understand that people around you have to be curious. I mean, yes, then, and if they're not curious, then they're not growing. I mean, they're not growing. So you have to understand every single day now. I'm understanding to always do better for myself and let it be for now. So that's how it is, guys. So just make sure that you're always doing the best job you can, so you can live your life and so you can better. I mean, so that you can better your life every single day.